are live. Welcome, everyone, to the best sports gambling show on the planet. This is WagerTalk Today. I'm your host, Andy, from WagerTalk.com, where the goal is very, very simple. We're going to try and make our bankrolls just a little bit bigger today than they were yesterday. It's Monday. We're coming off of a nice little winning week, and that's what we hope the standard is. We want to come here on Mondays and celebrate our wins, and hopefully we had a great weekend. But time to turn the page. We're locking in. We've got a golf major this week. We've got NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs. It is time to get the week started off right. So many opportunities are out there. Let's get ready to go get them. Gianni's going to tell us where all the sharp money's going. Crackman's going to join us, go over an MLB game and a player prop in the NBA. Bryan Power is going to break down the Timberwolves and Warriors. He's also going to give us an MLB play as well. And then Andrew McInnis is going to get us ready for NHL playoffs. He's got a nice little first period play and a player prop as well. I'll be doing a full breakdown on the Knicks and the Celtics. And then we're going to wrap up with our 7-day recap. We're going to do a little what did bettors learn. So thank you, everybody, for joining. We're trying to get to 100 likes before the end of the show. So everyone take a quick second, hit the like button, and let's bring in Gianni. Nothing better than getting a Monday started with Gianni. Gianni, it was a busy weekend. Pretty insane UFC 315. How was your weekend, sir?
Good. I ended up, I didn't hit my big bet on Fier, which again, I saw some sharp money on Shevchenko. There was good two-way sharp money on that. I just thought Fier would be able to squeeze out that decision 3-2. It did not go her way. But I did have a 4% on Madalena at plus 205. I had given them out to my subscribers. So, it didn't end up being bad. Could have just been a lot better. Just could have been a lot better. But overall, sitting nicely up for the year. Still number one in baseball overall. And I just gave out a tennis play. I'll give it to you guys here. That's what I was betting, a tennis play that came in a little earlier. And there was just still a soft line out there. Real quickly, I'll just give it to you now so I don't forget. Italy in that challengers in WTA. It's the ladies. It's Tekman versus Somez, and we're on Tekman at plus 125 or better. You should go to plus 120. Just get plus money on Tekman. You should be okay. Those tennis plays have been doing really good. But today it's all about NBA, NHL, and Major League Baseball.
Nice. Where's the sharp money and where's the public sharp syndicates? Where's all the money going today?
Haven't seen anything in any accounts as far as the NBA or the NHL. But what do we know? New York big dog for the series now, plus 230. Boston at minus 300. Knicks usually, historically, again, this has only happened 5 times where this is broken out in this round of the playoffs. In this game, Boston's usually able to tie it up at least 4 out of 5 times. It did go 2-2, but still being able to win the first 2 games on the road. Those teams tend to win the series at least 6 out of 10 times. So more than not, Boston winning that game 3 kind of shifted that historical probability a little bit. Remember, it was heavily favored towards the Knicks. That's dropped. That's why that was minus 110 as far as the adjusted series price. I think where it sits now, again, it's either a Knicks or pass situation. How can you lay minus 300 on Boston down 2-1? Yes, they're supposed to win tonight. That's where at least all the public money is. They're betting Boston. They're betting the under. But I just don't see any real EV there. They got to win 75% of the time just to break even. And we know historically those teams just don't tend to do that. So I don't see the value. Everybody's looking for a reason to bet Boston in the adjusted series. Again, I just don't think that price is warranted. Minnesota, Golden State, heavy Minnesota money tonight. Over money as well, already being bet in the public accounts. They're betting Minnesota. They're betting the over. They're teasing Minnesota. They're parlaying Minnesota and over. So a lot of risk will be on that second game, favored and over. No surprise. Also in the NHL, didn't see anything sharp there either. Carolina up 2-1. Those teams historically actually lose this game. 24 times it's happened where that team up 2-1 actually is 9-15. So only 30+% in this game. Usually, historically, Washington ties it up. I do see some more Washington money in the back end than Carolina money. So it doesn't look like the public's too excited to lay this kind of chalk on Carolina. If you remember, they were favorites in Washington, and Washington was being bet So no surprise, Washington at bigger plus money just continues to get the dough. But you see the adjusted series price now has Carolina at minus 675, all but automatically they think they advance up to 2-1 in the series. But again, another spot where historically it just hasn't been the case. It's about, 60% proposition. So if Washington's able to steal this game tonight, it'll make it interesting. I don't have an opinion. Vegas, Edmonton, that's the one that sticks out in the hockey, just like Minnesota stuck out in the NBA, Edmonton in the NHL. They're getting the money against Vegas tonight. Another historical spot where they've lost more than they've won, even up 2-1 in this game, 7-9 in this spot in game 4. But if you look at the adjusted price, another chalky favorite, Edmonton minus 250 to win that series. So again, nothing really sharp as far as the playoff games go that I've been able to see in any of the accounts, but the public is betting Minnesota in the NBA. They're betting the over heavily as well. And in the NHL, they are betting the Edmonton side. That's what's pretty much going on in the playoffs. Otherwise, it's been baseball.
Nice. I went to WagerTalk.com and I see number 2 last 3 days and your number 3 last 30 days. Those are great. It's great when you're in the 3 and 30 days because it's telling me.
Yeah. That means any sample size that they've jumped on, they should be have been doing okay. Yeah, it's been good. Just grinding, man. And I've had a tough week. I think like a week ago was the worst week of 2025. So still to be in that top 3 is means we're grinding away.
Yeah, I woke up Saturday and we couldn't hit a winner Saturday morning to save our life. It was just one disaster after another. And then, we keep our heads down and we grind, sweep the board on Sunday. We have a profitable week.
Dan, Shawn Michael picked up 18,000 on the Della Maddalena upset. My man, good for you, brother. Good for you.
Tips can be sent to Gianni at paypal.com. Gianni, I'm going to talk about this towards the end of the show. The topic of conversation between flat betting and betting the percentages. What do you prefer personally? What do you see the sharps and syndicates? I used to bet percentages. I'm now a flat bettor, and I'm a million times happier because of it. What's your approach on how much to bet?
Well, as far as bet sizing between like 1x and 5x, 1x and 3x, 1x and 10x, that takes a lot more skill to do that. You know what I mean? Because you have to have the discipline when you're losing. It's kind of like in blackjack. You got to have that discipline where the count warrants making 3 10x bets, but all of a sudden the count drops to where it's a negative count. The house now has the edge. You have to go from betting, if you're betting $10 units, $10 to 100, and you just bet 100 3 straight times, lost those $300 bets. Now you got to drop it back down to a $10 wager. That takes a lot. Like you got to be built for that to now know I got to win 30 of these just to get that back. Like you got to be built for that. So that takes a different kind of discipline. When I urge new bettors, guys that are just breaking in, the thing you want to be able to do, most important, is overcome the negative swing that's going to come. No matter how good of a year you have. I said it when I was documenting every single day. You could pick out any of those winning years that I had, and those 8 out of 10, and you will find the sample size that it looks like I don't even watch. I don't know anything about sports betting. Like it's just going to be horrific. That's just the law of big numbers. You're going to have that negative swing. But if you have an edge, you'll be fine as long as you bet size correctly. So my recommendation is always bet size small in relation to your bankroll so that your risk of ruin is low. Like, for example, as I talk about in the blackjack course, you can have a 1% risk of ruin based on the system I'm teaching them, where they can have a 99% success rate, meaning you're going to double your bank 99 out of 100 times. You're going to lose it 1 out of 100 times. But to do that, you need 1,000 units. So you need 1,000x. So if you're betting $25 a unit and bet sizing from 25 to 250, like we do in double deck, then you need a $25,000 bankroll. It's hard to tell someone with a $25,000 bankroll to bet $25 a game. That's the difficulty in bet sizing small. But if you want a 1% risk of ruin, that's what it's going to take. I work in sports with about a 20% risk of ruin, where I need 400 units. I urge most to do it a 10% risk of ruin, where you'll double your bankroll about 9 out of 10 times. To do that, you need about 500 plus units. So again, if you're betting $10 a unit, you need $5,000. And I'll ask that question once more. Who out there with a $5,000 bankroll is actually betting $10 a unit? Almost nobody. That's why 99.5% of sports betting accounts are negative lifetime. That's just how it is. Even with those with the power to beat the market. Again, I had access to the best information, and I still managed to lose bankroll after bankroll after bankroll after bankroll because I was over betting my edge. So I was never able to overcome any negative swing. To do that, bet size small in relation. So it's a hard way of going around and saying the best thing you could do is bet small in relation to your bankroll. You got $1,000 bankroll. You should never be betting more than, I'd say, 0.5% to 1% of your bankroll per play. And once you're able to win, then you could start moving it and thinking 1x to 5x, 1x to 3x, however, so you could differentiate between your regular bets and strength. Because as the line moves and maybe helps you, your edge is greater, you should place a bigger bet. That's how you win, placing bigger bets when your edge is greater. But that's just so hard for a lot of newer sports bettors to actually be able to determine what is my true edge. So I say you flat bet everything. You start with a number. You start with $1,000. You say, I'm going to bet $10 on everything. That's it. Best bets, regular bets. I'm not even going to distinguish between that. If I think it's a winning bet, I'm going to bet $10. Flat, 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 flat. When you double that bankroll, now you reassess. If you haven't been able to do that, or at least increase by 50%, then you're not there where you need to be thinking that advanced. Keep it simple, man. Keep it simple, because I'll keep repeating it. If you can't win with 1,000, you're not winning with 100,000. That's the bottom line. You can't beat the book with $1,000 bankroll. The money's not the problem. It's your bet sizing based on your bankroll that's stopping you from being profitable.
I agree. I tell people this all the time. You'd be amazed how quickly you can build a bankroll up by betting small, but it's amazing how quick you can lose it when you bet big. I learned my lesson like time after time after time. So I'm in full agreement with you here. Can you do that tennis play one more time? We have a couple people asking in the chat about your tennis play.
Yeah, absolutely. I had 2 tennis plays, but they already went off. This is Techman, Techmann, Jill Techman. Plus, I got down plus 130. Like I said, good. Well, you're getting plus money, plus 120. You're good there. The tennis has been doing really well. And she's up against Zenep Sanmez. So we are on Jill Techman, Teichmann at plus money. And that's that Challenger Series WTA. I think it's in Italy.
Gotcha. Okay, so that's the tennis play. Gianni, great stuff as always, man. We're going to get this week started off right. Tell everyone what you have up. I think we're still running that promo code for you. And
Indeed. Ace 100, get $100 off the next 30 days. We got so much going on with all the playoffs, Major League Baseball, college baseball. Did a nice steam room. I think we went 7-0 on all those steam room premiums the other day. That was a lot of fun. So jump on Ace 100. And again, MMA this weekend. Looking forward to another really good card in the UFC. So jump on board now. Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much, Gianni. Have a great Monday. Appreciate you. Guys, we got some special promos for everyone up. We're still running the flex picks. Went over so big last week, we're going to extend it to another week. So you want 7 days, you're going to get 4 days free. Again, pick your handicapper each day. You want Gianni today, you want Crackman tomorrow, you want me on Wednesday. That's the way the flex picks works. You get to pick your handicapper. It's becoming very, very popular. And so why not celebrate it by running a special? So get 7 days and you're going to get 4 free. That's over $100 discount on that. Nice sample size of 11 days. Pick your handicapper, see what style fits you best. Then you can look at maybe a little bit more long-term. If you have success with that handicapper, you really like the write-ups, the style of betting, et cetera, et cetera. So take care of that. What do I have up? Well, I've got an MLB pack that is up with not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 MLB props. We started off the season on a 14-8 run in props. I haven't talked much about MLB from us because we're kind of experimenting with these props. And guess what? They're working. So we're always going to talk about what's working for clients. Hope you guys take your chance to invest in that. We also have 2 NHL best bets that are up, and we're still running the promo code Andy30. Gets $100 off 30 days. We're coming off a winning week. We made 3 units last week. We're going to go over that recap at the end. So 15 out of the last 18 months, we've turned a profit. So you give me 30 days. You give me and my team 30 days. I love our chances to turn a profit for everybody. So take advantage of that. WT.buzz/AL. All right, Dan, if you're available, I'm going to bring Dan in for something. So Dan and I are up in Detroit. We are at the offices.
In the office, grinding.
Dan, I am 45 years old and I have never had a job in an office.
Really?
I feel like I'm on an episode of Naked and Afraid. I am so lost. I have such anxiety right now. I have never.
Your background looks incredible, though. Look at that John Cena you got behind you.
Johnny Detroit is right there. Like he's on the other side of the screen.
You. Yeah.
And when I queued it up to Gianni, I just hear Johnny Detroit go, "Nice job," and I'm like, this is blowing my mind.
You're like, this is too much. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
have you
I haven't been in an office since before COVID. So when I first started out, I hosted a radio show. So obviously you got to go into the office to host a show. You know what I mean? I was in studio for that. So since I went full time here with Wager Talk, no, haven't been in an office. So a little bit fish out of water, but honestly, I kind of like it. You know what I mean? The work from home. So I do like the work from home simply because typically, Winnie, who is star on this show, my dog would be chilling with me right now. So that's what I'm missing. But I'm a thorn between two roses because I got Chris Allen to my left, I got Kyle to my right, Lexi behind me, JH grinding. So I love being in the social setting, Andy. But yeah, no need to be anxious, man. Everyone's rooting for you here, brother.
I know.
And you got John Cena. No one's messing with you when you got John Cena over your shoulder.
We do have John Cena. I will tell you, the energy level goes through the roof when Kelly in Vegas is in an office. She's just constantly moving from room to room. She's completing tasks about 60%, and then it's on to the next task. So
the hit rate is high on the task completion right now. That is for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, we only got a couple days of this. Thank you, brother.
Survive, Andy. You'll survive. Hop in the chat. Give Andy some words of encouragement. Let's kick the anxiety.
Oh, that's hilarious. All right. Let's bring in Crackman. We're going to talk a little bit of NBA and a little bit of MLB. Bill, how are you, sir? How was your weekend?
Good morning. Good. All good in Vegas here. Early Monday morning. All good, Andy. I didn't know you guys were in Michigan there. All right. Have a good time.
Yeah, it's called team building. This is a foreign concept for me, Bill. I have not worked in an office or for a company, so I'm doing my first ever team building for a company. So it's a lot of fun though.
Nice.
Have you ever done this? Have you ever had an office job?
Do you think I worked a job in the last 25 plus years? Yeah, 30 years. Oh.
I don't think so. Let's jump into the NBA. You got a killer player prop. I love your player prop for the Celtics and Knicks. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's been a great series so far. First, fans and MSG today, I think they're ready to pounce. I should have said really game 3 they were ready, but as we see what happened there, the Knicks looking to take a 3-1 lead tonight. It's a big game for them at home. The Celtics finally, real simply, didn't blow one of their 20-point leads Saturday. So they cruised to 115-93, I think it was. So let's call it 20-plus points in game 3. And like I said, in front of a star-studded crowd in New York. So the series just feels like it's destined to go 7 games. A Knicks home win tonight would really help them control the series as it heads back to Boston later this week. Boston's still a pretty big favorite in this series, and they are a big favorite in this game. So Boston may have found a little something though in the last game, having some success while going with some smaller lineups. Enter Peyton Pritchard, who's barely 6'1", but a great spot-up shooter. So he's been the most consistent spot-up shooter really in the series, and he's put up 23 points last game. He played 34 minutes last game, and I expect to see those minutes around the same tonight also. So I'm going with Pritchard over 14.5 points, rebounds, assists tonight. This is the way I attacked baseball, basketball, even football. I'm a player prop guy, but more importantly, I'm a player prop guy that has available player props. I don't front run customers. I don't front run people, which means you bet it and it moves 2 points and then you send it out. So I'd rather just send it out than even bet it. But I do bet stuff because I have a lot of sneaky places I can bet without major line movement. I have to admit it under other people's names because if they see my name, they're just going to throw out the account. But bearding is part of the world we have here. Unfortunately, most of the sports books will throw you out if you win, if you use your brain. So then it's cat and mouse. You have to get another account, sneak in. And I always say to sports books, why not just keep Bill Krackomberger in? Let me bet a max bet. I don't even want nothing big. I mean, cumulatively I do, but give me $500. But give me a nickel on your. Now you know it's Bill Krackomberger. Now you know you should move the line or overmove the line and get your customer base on the other side of that line. But you have a lot of antiques and stuff running places. You have other guys that are scared to death to make a decision. You have guys that are working on the shift that feel if you win, even though their bosses say, hey, take Crack's bets. If somebody wins, they actually shut their account off. That's right. I've had bosses tell me, Crack, your account's supposed to be on. I'm so sorry. Someone on that shift turned it off. I'll get it turned back on. So I know I go off on tangents, but so anyway, again, I do attack these things prop-wise, but I do bet baseballs, first fives, baseball sides, some totals. But when it comes to football season, this year will be my first year. I'm really diving a little deeper when it comes to the NFL sides. Now, preseason, of course, I'm betting NFL sides. But as far as regular season, haven't really attacked NFL. I don't really know anyone that can beat NFL sides consistently. But the last 2 seasons, I have seen something that I really, really, have prospered from. It's a grind. It's 5 to 6 games a week, sometimes 3, 4, 5 games a week. Like I said, it was a grind last year for me. Never even gave him out. Year before, never even gave him out. Watched the guy win 23 units 2 years ago and watched him win 16 and a half units. This is after Juice last year. One of my main guys. I have a team of guys actually that work for. So anyway, that'll be football season. We're gonna.
Well, talk to us about Peyton Pritchard.
Okay, yeah, real simple. Over 14 and a half points, rebounds, assists tonight. I think he's got to get around the same thing. 34 minutes. There's your NBA play.
I love it, Bill. I love it, Bill. Cardinals and Phil, and I with Porzingis, who does not look right at all, they leaned on Pritchard big. I love that play. I think it's great. So I'll probably be tailing you on that one. You got a little play in the Cardinals and Phillies, I believe. Who do you like in that game?
Yep. Good one in Philly today. The red hot Cardinals start the week against the Phillies. You know, Philly has been playing some of the good baseball also, though, winning 7 of their last 10. St. Louis, probably the hottest team in baseball right now, coming into this game with winning 8 in a row. That what else can you say? So this, by the way, nothing like going to either game. I've been in both stadiums, but nothing like going to a Philly game, hanging out there, grabbing a cheesesteak outside the stadium somewhere. They have some good stuff inside too. Tony Luke's, and now there's Skinny Joey's right by the stadium. Good cheesesteaks there, good food, culture. Philadelphia, South Philly, great crowds. It's one of those places I really like. I can go up and down the coast there, from Philadelphia to Atlantic City to New York. It's just great. So again, we're gonna go. Let's see. Like I said, I like what I've seen with the Cardinals. We're gonna go with their starter today. His last few outings. I think it's Liberatore as pitcher. How can I not know it offhand? But I'm looking at the whole schedule. I think it's probably a 1-run game either way. It's a grind spot here. So give me the road dog. I'm going to go St. Louis plus the 1.5 runs, which is an unusual situation here. I'm not really big on run lines. Try to stay away from them. But I just think this is going to be a grind out type of game. Give me St. Louis plus 1.5 minus $1.40.
I love it, Bill. That's really good stuff. Peyton Pritchard over his PRA and the Cardinals plus 1.5. Real quick, is Philly your favorite baseball stadium? What is that? Is that the one that sticks out the most?
I being from the New York, New Jersey area my whole life, going to stadiums when I was a kid, I missed something that was before your time, Andy. I'm much older than you. I miss Shea Stadium, and Dave Kingman in right field used to give us tickets. We had my uncle had season tickets, and I miss Shea. I miss the old guys, Jerry Grody, Tom Seaver, Rusty Staub. That was when I was a little kid, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, going to Shea Stadium. Even though my whole family's from the Bronx and we're Yankee fans at home, but yet Shea was a place I like rooting for underdogs. I'm an old school guy, and I always revert back to old things. So I miss Shea, and I miss the pricing too. They want to bust people out there. How about a family with kids, you want to take them to Yankee Stadium, husband, wife, 2 kids, you're talking $1,000 for seats and a parking and a day out. Absolutely crazy. It takes the fun out of it. So, give me the old ways.
Love
Riverfront,
it, Bill. Thank you,
Panda, Riverfront Stadium.
Bill. Thank yeah, Riverfront, absolutely, yeah. Thank you, Bill, so much. And I know you got a promo up. We're doing 7 days for $69. You say you're not good at promoting yourself, but
No,
I'll do it. I'll well, I'm gonna promote it. This is Bill. And there's a great comment for you, Bill. You need a shirt that says I use my brain or use your brain.
Right.
We need to trademark that and get that for you. But yes, bet with Crackman 7 days for under $10 a day. We got that discounted down to $69. I mean, this is Crackman. You guys have heard him all over the place. This is a guy who's a proven winning bettor. So jump on 7 days for only $69. It's less than $10 a day, and you're going to get all of his plays that he bet. So, Bill, thank you so much for coming on. Have a great Monday, brother, and good luck.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for the comments. See you guys.
Absolutely. Let's do a breakdown on the Celtics and the Knicks. Let's do a full game breakdown. We got the line here at -6.5 with the over and under 208.5. Listen, games 1 and 2 compared to game 3 couldn't have gone much different. And to me, this is pretty simple. The game 3, the Knicks go 5 of 25 from 3. Celtics go 20 of 40. I mean, that's the story from that game. And I know it sounds simple, but the Celtics, when they're hitting their threes, they're so hard to beat. I love Bill's play on the Pritchard PRA. He played 35 minutes, hits 5 threes. He scores 23 points. He outscores the Knicks bench just by himself. Knicks bench only gives up contributes 21 points. And the Celtics didn't get much from Holiday, and the Knicks got nothing from Anunoby. But there's something that's not right with Porzingis. They say it's an illness, but he's not playing very minutes. When he's out there, he just looks slow. And I think they're going to have to lean on Pritchard a little bit more, which to me means more offense from Boston. And Porzingis, one of the anchors of that defense. But I think we're going to get a little bit less defense. And if the Celtics are hitting threes and Pritchard's hot again, they're going to score a lot of points. I know that this has been kind of a rock fight on defense, but I'm going to go with the Celtics team total over 107.5. This team, for whatever reason, it looks like they play better on the road than they do at home. I would be terrified to bet on them at home, but for whatever reason, I just feel much better about them on the road. So I'm going to go Celtics team total over 107.5. I think Pritchard has a big game. I think Holiday improves his stats. I know New York's been playing really good defense, but it's just a lot of wear and tear on those starters. So give me the Celtics over 107.5 on the full game team total. All right, let's bring in Bryan Power. Bryan, how was your weekend, my friend?
Good, Andy. 4-2 overall. It was a little light. We didn't push too much. We only had one play actually yesterday, but it was the best bet in soccer where we continue to run hot, and that play really easy. We had Dortmund draw no bets, and they were up 4-1 before they gave up a garbage goal and stoppage time. So like that, like I said, soccer's running hot. Won my only NBA play over the weekend. It was actually the Celtics team total over in game 3. Finally, they hit those threes. I actually would come back with that play again. I completely agree with everything you just said. Tonight, I like Celtics team total over more than the one I'm going to go over and break down a little bit on Timberwolves.
Okay.
Well, but I've been writing about it all week. The Celtics obviously we know they're 1 bombs away against the Knicks. The Knicks are not good at defending the 3. The Celtics are going to get up over 40 attempts. As long as they make them and don't go ice cold like they did in the first 2 games, 25%, I think they're going to continue to score some more. But, I'm excited to break down this team total in the second game as well with you, Andy.
Let's waste no time. Timberwolves and the Warriors. You've got a team total as well. Talk to us about it.
Yeah, I think T-Wolves over 2.5 is how I would do this. Game 3, they got to 102 with not great shooting, 43.9% overall, 38.2% from 3. Minnesota had a lot of foul trouble to navigate in that win. 4 of the 8 guys that played, Andy, had 4 or more fouls. Now, I want to highlight a couple of the bench guys for the T-Wolves, Reed and DiVincenzo. If they can stay out of foul trouble here and on the court, then Minnesota should not have much difficulty going over this team total tonight. Reed and DiVincenzo both obviously like to shoot the 3. They're making them. It's obviously great for us. But regardless of, and this is why I really like this team total here, regardless of how Reed and DiVincenzo are shooting the 3, them being on the court really opens up space for Anthony Edwards to attack the rim. With Edwards, Reed, and DiVincenzo on the floor together in this series, the T-Wolves are averaging more than 1.2 points per possession. That's a very good number. Golden State, without Steph Curry, it's difficult to project what they look like, right? Obviously, offensively, it's looking pretty shaky. They got 33 from Butler and 30 from Kuminga in the last game. Still only scored 97 points as a team. So I just want to remove the Warriors from the equation here. I know it's a desperate spot, but I don't think they're really long for the playoffs. Let's go T-Wolves over team total 102.5.
I love it. We're going to break down the Diamondbacks and the Giants as well. But real quick, Brian, 4 straight winning months to open 2025. Congratulations, man. You and I in the same boat. That's really, really hard to do. That is really hard to do. So congratulations for that. I know May, you said that May hasn't started off great, but we're just getting started. And this is why I love measuring the month. Like I used to do the bankroll reset every 7 days. I was like, that's too small of a sample size. Let's do a month, because you can survive a bad week. You can survive 2 bad weeks in a month. So talk to us a little bit, and definitely talk to us about soccer, because we want to point people in the right direction. What's running good? What's been proven to be a short-term and long-term winner? And for you, it's absolutely soccer. You went 5-2 over the weekend.
Yeah, so it was a 4-2 weekend overall, all sports. So that has us pretty close. Plenty of time to finish in the black here for a 5th straight month. Soccer, number 1 last 365 days. I mentioned the 4% best bet yesterday. It was actually, like I said, my only play on Sunday at 8-1 with soccer plays rated 4% or higher. 14-4-1 last 19 soccer overall. You go back even a little bit more than a year. I'm up 58.9 units in soccer. Hopefully going to have something in La Liga midweek. And then if you want to jump on for 3 days, 7 days, even 30 days, all sports, I already know what my $5 play for Tuesday is going to be in the NBA playoffs. So that's good. That'll be
nice.
Pretty early this evening. And if, one last thing before we get to the baseball game, if for some reason you're watching this and say, you know what I want to do is watch more Bryan Power on video, there is always, of course, the Power 5 and Morning Wager each and every day here on WagerTalk TV. That
was such a professional segue. That was amazing. Did you write that? Did you write?
I did. It's written down. If I don't write some things down, I get a little lost, Andy. If I don't have it down in front of my screen, okay. I'm 45 too, so I'll tell you what. Sometimes I got a lot of stuff on my screen with this new system now. If something flashes, I get lost and I'll forget my name. It's really embarrassing. So I do write a few things down here or there.
Well, Gianni's teaching blackjack. He's doing blackjack classes. We might need to have Bryan Power do professional segues into topics, free classes, because that was amazing. All right, let's talk Diamondbacks and Giants. You got opinion on the total in this one? Tell us about it.
Yeah, so you could make a case, Andy. This is a tough spot for both teams. They just played 4 against the Dodgers. Obviously, that's a big series for them. They ended up with a split. Lost 8-1 on Sunday, however. And then the Giants, they've obviously been a big surprise these first 2 months of the season, but just got swept out in Minnesota. Lost all 3 games by exactly 1 run. Yesterday went 10 innings. But as I broke down Monday's series opener, I am not really enamored with either of these starting pitchers. Arizona's going with Merrill Kelly. He's been far worse on the road. That's what you need to know about him. 5.31 ERA versus 3.25 at home. San Francisco's going with Justin Verlander. He has a hot wife, but he just doesn't strike out batters like he used to. 4.53 FIP is another concern for him, especially going against this D-backs lineup, Andy. Top 5 in baseball in runs per game, 5.3. Guys like Gurriel, Marte did get days off over the weekend, so that lineup should be in good shape. I will say the runs from the D-backs probably need to come early. Why? San Francisco's got the top bullpen ERA in all of baseball, but the flip side, Arizona, bottom 6 bullpen ERA. So maybe that is counter the scoring. If the D-backs don't score late, that's going to be counteracted by the Giants putting some runs on late. So, I like the over 8 in this NL West matchup. The NL West, save for the moribund Colorado Rockies, a very, very difficult division this year.
Great work, Brett. I mean, listen, Brian, you checked all the boxes on that segment. Free plays, professional segue, a compliment to Justin Verlander's wife. It had it all in the last few minutes. So once again, Bryan Power is just crushing it in soccer. 5-2 run of their number 1 last 365 days. Tell everyone where we can find you at, Brian.
Well, conveniently, WT.buzz/BP as we continue to climb back. Look, we're not trying to get it all back in a day or even 2 or 3 days. Just one play for Monday in Major League Baseball. I really drilled down, Andy, on this one. A first 5 team total. Wouldn't it be nice to just cash your bet in the first inning. I think, it might take 1 or 2 innings. So hopefully not all 5, but that's the goal. Really like this play. I may, and I do stress the term, everybody, may add a couple more in baseball. I'm deciding on that as I was arguing with myself before we went on the air. So we may increase the number of plays to 3, but as of right now, we've got 1. If it does increase to 3 and you've already bought the 1, I'm just going to add to the same package anyway. So there you go. WT.buzz/BP.
Thanks, Brian. Have a great Monday. Good luck to you in all your plays, brother. Appreciate it. All right, guys. Once again, promo code Andy30 gets 30 days of plays. We've cashed a winning month in 15 out of the last 18. Take advantage of it, guys. We do this show for free. We give out plays, but investing in your bankroll as a business has been very, very lucrative for us. Up 90 units in 2023, up 127 units last year. We're creeping up on 80 units for this year. So coming off a nice 3-unit week, we're going to go over that recap, and I'll show you how I do my bankroll reset, and we'll show you how we kind of look at what's going well and what's not going well. But take advantage of that. We have 4 MLB plays up, 2 NHL plays. So it's a busy, busy Monday. If you just want the plays for today, go grab that. It's at WagerTalk.com. We're going to bring in Andrew McInnis, who's going to get us ready for the NHL games. Andrew, overall take on what you're seeing in the playoffs? Any storylines that are jumping out to you? Just overall, what's your take so far?
I think that teams are playing to their true identities, Andy, is what we're really seeing. I mean, good luck seeing an under bet cash in the Oilers and Knights series right now. And as far as, the Capitals and Hurricanes, it's kind of like the big brother version of the Capitals are kind of like the little brother right now. I mean, they like playing low scoring, grinded out games just like the Canes do, but the Canes are just that much better at doing so. So I will tell people from a betting standpoint, this is the time of year where if you're looking at betting NHL futures, you start betting the Conn Smythe Trophy winners. If you like a price or like a team like Dallas or Florida or whoever it might be to win the Stanley Cup, forget about looking at their Stanley Cup odds. You start looking at finals MVP or playoffs MVP, which is called the Conn Smythe. So it's been good so far, Andy. A lot of competitive games, a lot of really tight games.
Love it. Let's jump into Capitals and Hurricanes. I know you got a sneaky play in this game. So tell us about this play.
It is, and I guess we could say it's a little bit contrarian. We're not going with the full game over here, Andy, but we're taking the first period over. And this takes me back to something I was doing a lot in the regular season, which was first period over 1.5 bet when a team coming into a game, one of the two teams was off a game where they were shut out. And of course, this is a playoff series, so they're playing the same team that just shut them out. But I think that at this point right now for the Washington Capitals, as I mentioned, I think that the Carolina Hurricanes, they're pretty much like the big brothers version of the Washington Capitals. I think that Carolina plays exactly how Washington would like to play, but they're just that much better than Washington at that style of hockey. So I'm looking at this game and thinking Washington is going to have to open things up. They're not going to be happy about how that game went, getting shut out. Who would be? So I think defensemen are going to be jumping into the rush. I think forwards are going to take more risks. I think the neutral zone is going to be a lot more wide open. I think it's going to be less dumping and chasing and more carrying the puck through the offensive zone, higher shot counts. Maybe frustration sets in, more penalties could lead to power play goals. So especially early on. And the funny thing is, Andy, this year in the playoffs especially, we've seen a lot of games that have gone over in the first period and stayed under for the full game or vice versa. So this does not necessarily mean that I like the full game over, but I do think that sense of urgency plus the great minus 105 price on this makes us a good bet tonight on the over 1.5 in the first period here.
Love it. Love it. Golden Knights and Oilers. You're going with a player prop. I know this guy very well, and I love your player prop on this one. The toughest part with this player prop is pronouncing the last name, so I will let you do that one.
We're both in the same boat with this one. Pavel Dorofeyev. We'll go with that one here. Dorofeyev.
I think you nailed it. I looked it up on YouTube, but I think you crushed that one. Well done.
There we go. I'll tell you, Andy, when I do the same thing with the YouTube, like looking up the commentary, you could hear a commentator say the name 1,000 times, but then trying to say it yourself, it's a whole new ball game.
True.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it sounds easy enough. You hear someone else say it. But he's gone over in 11 of his last 13 games, this 2.5 shots on goal number. And, Andy, as you know, someone that's had a ton of success with NHL player props is like sometimes the biggest battle you have with them is the pricing. You're like, man, this guy over 2.5, it's just working so well. But you kind of get that battle with yourself. Like, am I okay with this price? But when I see 11 of the last 13 games and specifically doing very well against the Edmonton Oilers, I'm confident with it. And then I look at Mark Stone, who got injured, who just always seems to get injured in the last game. He's questionable. He's a game time decision for tonight. So some might say, well, maybe Dorofeyev was a sneaky shot player when Mark Stone is in the lineup. The numbers actually indicate that he shoots the puck even more than he already does when Mark Stone isn't out there. So I say I like this play already, but especially if Mark Stone does not play, I'm looking forward even more. And at the end of the day here, for this Vegas Golden Knights team, if they can't beat them in low-scoring games, I think they're going to have to beat the Oilers in the way that they did the other night. And it's going to be by the race to 4 goals, maybe the race to 5 goals, because Edmonton is dragging every team into a high-scoring contest, whether they like it or not. It's insane. Like, if Edmonton goes down 2-0 in a game, they don't care because they're going to get to 4 anyway. So it's high-scoring, it's action-packed, and this is a great series for props.
Love that one, Andrew. CFL. But when does CFL start? I know that's one of your bread and butters. When does that season start?
Yeah, it starts the second week of June, so it's coming up.
Okay,
man. It is almost here. Preseason is almost here, and I'm looking forward to that. Training camp. I do a lot of reading with local bloggers, local journalists, and stuff like that. So really looking forward to the CFL, Andy. And I wanted to talk about this with you, and I'm happy it's you and I speaking because I've taken a different approach this year across multiple sports, and it's led me to a lot of success. And I love when I hear you say, "Oh, this week, couple units, you get a couple units each week. It's a great month." And I think it was 6.5 units for me the last 7 days. I'm really proud of that. You know, this year, I think 2025, we're close to 45 units, all sports. Really excited about that. But inside that, very few big streaks, Andy. Very few. And so people love the streaks. Like, if you look at my numbers in 2025, I don't have a lot of ad copies and at WagerTalk.com that are going to say 8-1 run, 8-2 run, or 11 of my last 15, whatever it might be. But it's just been a slow and steady managing the bankroll and giving out good prices, giving out good tickets, and really not risking when I don't love a play. Low volume. But having said all of that, CFL is one sport that I actually, this year, I'm planning on having my volume be up, because looking at the numbers for me, and CFL is a sport that I feel very confident in attacking the opening numbers and attacking those numbers. So I want people on my full all access packages. And the biggest reason why sometimes I'm not giving out as many plays as I would like to is because I'm worried and fearful that people will not get the same number as me. And I want to have that respect and that quality relationship with my clients. So that's why I'm going to encourage people to get these early bird specials right now. With my promo code CFL249, you can get that for just 24 hours. All right. You're going to get all my CFL plays, the full regular season plus playoffs, CFL249, because Andy, I think that this is a sport that I have a really good grasp on. I think I always end up getting the best of the numbers. And, usually for me in any sport, when I have the lower amount of picks, lower number of picks, it usually means better winning percentage and higher units. But when I think about a season that I earned close to 18 units, and that was good for me in the CFL, I had 60 plays. A season like last year, it was 49. And I look back to another one where I had close to 70 plays, and I was up 33 units. And it's CFL, only 4 games a week. So having said everything I've talked about with low volume and, not putting the bankroll at risk too much with NHL and all these plays I'm doing with baseball, CFL is the one sport I'm ready to attack. But I need people to put their faith in me with these all access packages. So when I release the plays that I love, because I'm not going to be hesitant this year, I want them getting the numbers that I bet.
I love it, Andrew. And yeah, you're right. Like, slowly building the bankroll. We call it wealth by 1,000 paper cuts. Just think, 3 units here, 3 units here. But yeah, I love that you haven't gone on those huge streaks. I get terrified if I go on an unsustainable winning streak because I know regression is right around the corner. I made 3 units last week, and if that could be every week, that would be my dream. Just scrape 3 units, build the bankroll up. So congratulations, man, on having a winning year. That's really good. And we're always adjusting. We're always kind of trying to figure out, okay, what sport's working good, what sport's not working good. Let's lean into the good. Let's, eliminate the bad. So congratulations on that. And make sure you take advantage of Andrew's CFL. CFL, really, really good source of income. And you can play it in every book. That's the other nice thing is all these plays are available at all the books. So it's not just like it's in Canada. So good job, Andrew. Good luck on your plays today. And I can't wait to talk more CFL with you. It's going to be a great season.
Thanks, Andy.
Have a great Monday.
Good to see you as always.
Absolutely. All right, guys, we're almost to 100 likes. If you're watching and you haven't liked, come on, just hit the like button. Just hit the like button. And Lucky, I was definitely serious about that. I sent you the link to the Discord. Reach out to me if you're serious about really taking your bankroll really serious. I'll do a call with you. We'll talk about things. We'll talk about what's working good for you, what's not, and we'll get you on the right path. I'm working with one of my friends right now on this exact thing. So going from a losing better to a winning better, it can be really hard to do, but with just a couple of steps, you can do it. And if you're really serious about it, reach out to me. I'm willing to help. So take advantage of that, guys. And yeah, when we do this show every day, ask questions. You get 10, 15 minutes with Gianni. You get 10 to 15 minutes with Bill. There's like pick our brains. This is what we do for a living. We live this lifestyle. We get up, we're looking at the lines, we're betting every single day. So take advantage. You got a lot of free information and knowledge at your fingertips here. So take advantage of that while we're here. So, all right, Dan, let's pull up the graphic. I do this every Monday. This is what I do personally and do this for clients. We take a look at the last 7 days and how good do we do? Well, we were 32 and 25 for plus 3 units. We want to take a look at what went great. Dan, lacrosse went great, my man. Soccer was really good. What was terrible? Golf and our cross-sport parlays were a disaster this week, which is unfortunate because that's normally our bread and butter. So we went 0 for 3 in cross-sport parlays. That was the biggest source of units lost. Am I in a panic about cross-sport parlays? No. We've turned a profit every single year doing parlays. I'm not too worried about it. It's just one of those bad weeks. MMA only plays, again, go 3-1. A couple of the losses in the cross-sport were from MMA. So when it says 3-1, make sure you realize that we had some MMA and some cross-sport parlays, and that's where the losses were. And I mentioned MLB. Take a look at that. 4 units in MLB. So we're really, really proud about that. So I encourage you guys to try to do this every week. Track your plays and take a look at what's going well and what's not going good. That way you know what to adjust. So so that's what we do. That's our recap. I also wanted to do kind of a little bit of a what did bettors learn? I think it's actually appropriate for today with what we've been talking about. So a couple times in the last 2 weeks, I've gotten some very nasty messages on social media when a play doesn't go good. One guy in particular, 2 UFC shows ago, he came in, said something mean about a bet losing, and if he would have just stayed with us the rest of the show, we hit 3 live bet winners. But he wanted to be mean and panicked, and just here's the message. If that is you, if you're willing to go to a handicapper on social media and rip them, if you have a play that it ruins your entire day, it ruins your entire week, the answer is very simple. You have too much on that play. I have never been that upset in the last, 3, 4, 5 years about a play losing because I don't ever have so much on it where it absolutely ruined my day. It's like your own personal thermometer. If my Saturday is completely ruined because I lost a play, you just have too much on it. It's why I am just really, really recommending everyone do flat betting. Pick a percentage that you feel comfortable with, 1%. Of your bankroll and keep it the same. If you're super upset about one play, just because you have too much on that, and that is something that we can all easily fix. That is something that right now we can make sure we do not have enough money, because all of my clients that take their bankroll serious, I never hear from them when we have a loss. I just don't. our Discord is pretty quiet when we have a loss. A couple people say something, I go, oh, you probably had too much on that. So we just keep grinding. We believe in long term. We believe at the end of the week, at the end of the month, at the end of the year, we're going to be profitable. But you cannot let it bother you that much. So let's lower the unit size. Let's be really, really responsible with our bankroll. And again, if you want to join our Discord, I'm there for free to talk. All of the Winning in the Shadows team members there. Jan is there, Jim is there, Corbin is there. I think Dan is there. If you want to ask questions, fire away. That's what we're there for. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it. I think we got really, really close to 100 likes. I think we got really close. So as we're closing out the show, hit the like button, and I appreciate you guys in the chat. Really do. You guys join us every day, and without you, this show wouldn't exist. So we're here to help. We're here to learn. We're here to grow, and we're going to do it again tomorrow from the Detroit offices, where hopefully I feel a little bit more comfortable. So, all right, thanks so much for joining us. Good luck on your plays, and we'll see everyone Tuesday morning. Bye.